Having said that, we have spoken to the Big 12 Conference in exploratory. What's up, everybody? It's Trey Smith with College Game Time, back with another College Game Time YouTube video. Hey, I told you at the beginning of the month you were going to get 30 videos in 30 days. It is June 28th, and this is video 28. So there will be 2 more for the month of June. And don't get it twisted, we're going to keep it rolling into July, but just wanted to do a little progress accountability check. But today I'm going to get into a report from my guy, Jim Williams. Shout out, Jim. Thank you for the follow back on Twitter and for your kind words on Twitter. I made a video commenting on some news he released out to the Twitter sphere over the weekend. And I guess he watched the video and then he sent me a nice message on Twitter, which I thought was very cool. But he's got another one that I'm going to get into, talking about a conversation he had with a Pac-12 administrator. But real quick, before we get into that, of course, like and subscribe, watch it to the end, leave a comment, share it with a friend, leave a super thanks if you feel led to, all that good stuff. But I want to take a quick second here to just offer a couple thoughts on Ryan Mallett. I've really been wrestling on whether to say anything or just keep my mouth shut. Those of you that have been following my channel for some time know that we actually had Ryan on a year ago. And what was supposed to be just a quick 15-minute, like, hey, give us a couple stories and tell us some memories and what you got going on now. See you later. Man, it ended up being like between an hour and hour and a half long conversation. I think after it was edited, it was about an hour, and it's on here. But he was one of the most down-to-earth, just vibrant, great energy people. And I've been wrestling with whether I should say anything or not. It's crazy because I just uploaded a clip from that interview, I think a week ago. And I was getting ready to text him as he went into the next upcoming football season. He was a head high school football coach in the state of Arkansas. And I think it was the Whitehall Bulldogs. But I don't know if I should say anything, if I should not say anything. It's like, I don't want to be disrespectful by commenting on this just tragic event that was trending pretty much all afternoon into yesterday into today. But then, like, I don't want to just stay silent and then be disrespectful in that manner. And I don't know. I think the thing that I wanted to say, honestly, the reason why I brought all this up was just to simply say one of the things I thought was so cool about him when we had that interview was actually after the interview, when we stopped recording, there was an issue with our server in getting his video uploaded to it so that we could go then extract it and make, the revisions and all that for post-production. And I guess he was using his phone, and I was like, Ryan, man, like, I am so sorry. Like, it's taking forever. It never does this. If you got to go, I get it. We appreciate your time. I mean, he was overcompensating for us. Anyways, he finally, Ryan just goes, I don't need my stinking phone, man. I'm going to go watch film and get ready for strength and conditioning workouts with his high school team the following morning. He's like, I got to be up early. He said, just shoot me a text or something when it's ready. Y'all are good. Take your time. And, like, I don't know, man. Like, I just thought that was so cool. My personal encounter with him as far as on this channel was nothing but positive, good vibes, great energy, down to earth. Just one of the dudes, man. And so anyways, like I said, I don't want to be one of those guys that just take someone's name who's trending from a just devastating tragedy to drive views and clicks or whatever, but I also didn't want to just stay silent. And so very much appreciate Ryan and the time he spent with me and us on this channel. And I'll leave it at that. So now, not sure how to transition from that, but going to try. So I want to pull up this Jim Williams tweet that he put out there, I think sometime this morning, mid-morning, before lunchtime, depending on what time zone you're in. And he said he spoke to a high-ranking administrator for one of the Pac-12 four corner schools. We remain optimistic that we will get a media deal that will keep the conference together. So, whoever this particular administrator was feels confident that there will be a deal that keeps the conference together. Now, have we heard this 100 times over the last year? Yes. Having said that, we have spoken to the Big 12 Conference in exploratory due diligence conversations. Moving from one conference to another is no simple process, and to be frank, if we are considering changing memberships for exposure reasons, we need to see the number of games we will be getting on linear in advance. It makes no sense to move if we are getting less exposure than BYU, Cincy, Houston, and UCF. Couple things here. I'm going to pull up another graphic here in just a second, but first off, is this Arizona speaking again? I don't know if you saw my video yesterday where I was commenting on the Jed Fish comments. Now, the Jed Fish comments, that interview was released earlier this week, but that particular clip started going crazy yesterday and just talking about, Arizona's going to have a place to play. And I mean, right now it's the Pac-10, but wherever we go, we have a brand and we're going to have a place to play. If you didn't see that video, I'd encourage you to go watch it. But he didn't really sound like a guy who's living in a world right now that feels confident that they're staying where they're currently at. Obviously, with this quote, he says they remain optimistic, but they're talking to the Big 12, or they have. And I get it. There's a lot of moving pieces if you're going to change conferences, and you've got to be keeping your options open. But I don't know, based off the Jed Fish comments, if I had to guess, I would say this was an administrator with Arizona. That kind of seems to be the trend right now. And I'm trying to come from a very objective standpoint with no bias either way. But it sounds like the general tenor right now is, hey, we feel optimistic. We're going to keep the conference together. But there's a few of us over here that are still seeing what's going on with the Big 12 just in case. So it's like a cautious optimism. But I want to also get to the second part of this tweet where he's talking about he or she, I don't know who the administrator was, but if we're considering changing membership for exposure reasons, we need to see the number of games we will be getting on linear in advance. So I'm not a genius here, especially when it comes to networks and media and scheduling of games. But just from a casual fan perspective, typically we don't know who's playing on which network and which time slot till 1 to 2 weeks out, because a lot of it's contingent on how a team is playing. So I don't fully get what they're asking for. But if I were providing this person this information, I would show them this graphic right here. Let me pull this up. So somebody please in the comments, feel free to even educate me here. But you see here on the screen, so Big 12 linear programming with their new deal. These are their slots, right? You've got ESPN, ESPN2, ESPNU, ABC, Fox Sports, and FS1. And then I put CFB After Dark because if you have BYU plus a couple four corner schools, you can start to fill out a couple of those time slots as well, those After Dark time slots. I mentioned that in a video. I don't remember when it was, last week or sometime, that the Pac-12 is losing their one bargaining piece, their one piece of leverage, which is Pac-12 After Dark being the one Power 5 conference that can fill those time slots. If they have teams start jumping ship, they're going to lose that leverage, or they're not going to lose it. They're going to lose being the only conference that has that particular piece. But anyways, so I'm looking at this. It's like, okay, there's your linear programming. So someone tell me, what am I missing here? I guess you have to factor in. Let me pull this down. I guess you have to factor in a Thursday night, Friday night game here and there. But again, there just continues to be this feel like Okay, we're optimistic we can keep everything together because, like, just with anything, it's easier to stay than to uproot, of course. But there just doesn't seem to really be a confidence. Yes, there's optimism, but there doesn't seem to be a confidence that a good enough deal is being put in place. Now, I commented yesterday, responded to someone, which, by the way, I love when we're able to turn these videos in the comment sections into our own little like message board forum. We just have some good discussions going. And I had said yesterday to someone, I have there's a small part of me that wonders, is like Apple TV going to come in and just save the day for the Pac-12? And when I say save the day, I just mean keep the conference intact and allow them to bring in, a San Diego State and a SMU to potentially replace UCLA and USC. What would that look like? I don't even know. But there's a small part of me that wonders if that's going to happen. Then there's a more like realistic part of me that does think like they're going to lose one or two four-corner schools once this deal comes across the table. But I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm still clinging to June 30th as being a breaking news day. Obviously, that deadline was the San Diego State deadline, and that got a little wonky when the stuff with them in the Mountain West Conference came out and kind of where that sits. So I've seen people talking about, well, the deadline's going to be Pac-12 media days and, into July or mid-July, whenever it is, because they don't want the media days to be dominated by media deal and realignment discussions. They don't want to take away from the coaches and players. But I don't know. I'm still stuck on June 30th. I know we're literally getting to the 11th hour. It's June 28th as of me recording this video, and we've got essentially 48 hours till we're there. Well, I guess less than, actually. But let me know what you think. Are we going to get a deal done? Is something going to happen between now and Friday? Will we see a team jump ship? I mean, you got to think a year ago, man, it was like when that USC UCLA news hit, I mean, it was like the 11th hour, boom, at least when the public got wind of it and, kind of set some trimmers through the college football landscape or whatever, since some, I don't know what word I'm trying to say, some earthquake vibrations type deal, whatever. It shifted the landscape pretty significantly. And then, of course, 2 years ago when the OU Texas news broke. So y'all let me know what you think. That's it for me. Trey Smith with College Game Time.